There's breaking news tonight in a horrific case out of Colorado. The killings of a 34-year-old pregnant woman and her two little girls, ages 4 and 3. Tonight, charges have been filed. Randy Kay joins us now with the latest. What's going on?
Well, Anderson, late today, Chris Watts was officially charged with the murders of his wife and his two young girls. He was charged with first-degree murder in their deaths. He was charged with unlawful termination of a pregnancy. His wife was 15 weeks pregnant. And he was also charged with 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body. But what was interesting today was they unsealed this court affidavit, which had a whole lot of new information in it. One of the things that it says is that Chris Watts actually confessed to killing his wife. He says, according to the affidavit, that he did so because he had asked her for a separation, looking to end the marriage apparently, and then he said it was an emotional conversation, but a civil conversation. He went out for a bit, came back, and he says, she had strangled one of their girls already, and she was blue on the bed, and she was actively strangling the second daughter. So he flew into a rage, as the affidavit says, and killed his wife. That's his story. That's what he told police. The affidavit also says that he was having an extramarital affair with a coworker, which police say is something he actually denied in earlier interviews with investigators, but they discovered that over the course of their investigation. But we, as you know, have been following this since last week, and this is what we found in terms of how this case has all unfolded.
What, girls? Mommy has a baby in her belly.
A moment of joy that's turned to pain and mystery. That was Shanann Watts telling her two daughters that she was pregnant again. 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste were thrilled.
I love you, girls.
I got the baby a hug.
You want to give the baby a hug?
There's also video of her sharing the news with her husband of nearly 6 years, Chris Watts.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
But not long after that video was taken, something terrible happened. On Monday last week, Shanann and her daughters went missing. Then came Tuesday, and Shanann's husband, Chris, began a series of public pleas for their safe return.
Just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart.
Authorities searched the home and canvassed the neighborhood. 2 days later, a grisly discovery.
We have been able to recover a body that we're quite certain is Shanann Watts' body.
Authorities say the woman's body was recovered on the property of a petroleum and natural gas exploration company where Chris Watts used to work. The bodies of 2 children were found nearby. Then another bizarre turn. The desperate husband and father, who had pleaded for his family's safe return, was now suddenly the prime suspect in their disappearance.
In the late hours of Wednesday evening, the husband, Chris Watts, was taken into custody and was transported to the Wall County Jail.
He wouldn't do anything. And then I seen his interview and I was like, oh my God, something's not right.
On Facebook, with emotions running high, Shanann's brother directly accused Chris Watts. This piece of blank, may he rot in hell. He killed my pregnant sister and my 2 nieces. Police have not suggested a motive. Before his arrest, Watts told reporters that he and his wife had exchanged words.
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that.
Still, on Shanann's Facebook page, a portrait of a happy family and a woman in love.
I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook, and I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm never going to meet him. Except, one thing led to another, and 8 years later, we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
God, it's so awful to see her talking about him.
So lovingly, too. What we know about where the bodies were found, Anderson, we have some new information on that. He says that he loaded all 3 bodies into his truck and took them to this oil company where he used to work. He was actually fired the same day he was arrested. He was also given a map by authorities, according to the affidavit, and he was able to pinpoint on the map where the bodies were. Shanann Watts was found in a shallow grave. The 2 girls were found nearby in oil tanks where police say their bodies had been submerged for 4 days.
So I just don't understand, if he's claiming he killed her to protect or in a rage, whatever, why would he have hidden the bodies?
That's what doesn't make sense. I mean, we know that his team has asked for DNA samples to be taken from the girls' necks. They asked the judge that, possibly to prove that it was the mother, not the father, who did this, but that request was denied. But it doesn't make any sense. You'd think somebody would have called authorities,
Right.
called police, asked for help. You don't hide the bodies and then do all those television interviews.
Randy Kaye, thanks very much.